All right, we're live, Guru Nation. We're so back. What's good, everybody? Spencer, the freaking guru, here to bring y'all a mock draft. The first one of 2026. It has been a very busy season for myself personally, but we are back here for fantasy football here in August. I know it's kind of last minute, and y'all usually see me more often, but maybe one day we'll return to more often, but for now, we got to do what we got to do. So we're doing it, though. We're back. So appreciate everyone that's still rocking with us here on the Guru Nation YouTube channel. And we've got 11 hungry mock drafters ready to get it going. So we promised that it would start at 8 Eastern. We're running a little late, had some technical difficulties. My apologies, but we are ready to go now. So let's get it started here. Let's not waste any more time. Our guy Murph is picking at the 101. We'll start with him. We each have a minute to pick. Hopefully everyone pulls up that join, so hopefully we don't have any autos. I don't know if Murph's in here yet. I'll shoot him a DM in hopes that he'll join. 1 sec, y'all. But yeah, it's good to be back, y'all. Appreciate it. We got some homies in the house already. We got Ghost Monkey here. What's good, brother? Appreciate you pulling up. I know the Gin Wealth Net crew is out in Vegas, so if we don't see any of them tonight, we know where they're at. They're having a good time out there, and their big West Side League draft is going down tomorrow evening. So stay tuned to the Gin Wealth Net channel for updates there. And where is Murph? It looks like he's gonna start us off with auto. Well, that's disappointing, but at least it's 101. So if he joins, oh, there he is. Perfect. Bijan, baby. I'm cool with that. Bijan and Gibbs are on the thumbnail here for this video. So either or for the 101. I personally prefer Gibbs, and then there goes Gibbs here too. It is single quarterback, by the way, 12-team PPR for those wondering what the format was. And there goes Chase there at the 103. So pretty conventional start here. I'm cool with all these picks. And here's where it gets interesting, though. 104, the consensus had been Puka Nacua, but with his recent injury and potential suspension, his stock is dropping. So Amon-Ra St. Brown goes at the 104. I personally have Juju as the second ranked receiver. He could have a little regression, though, this season. And there goes Puka at the 5. Puka definitely has the most upside of that group. I'd say Amon-Ra, JSN. Did I say Juju? Man, that just goes to show. That just goes to show how rusty I am. These people, I'm probably about to get roasted in this mock. I'm not gonna lie. Call myself the guru, calling JSN Juju. That is I should just end the stream right now, y'all. That was bad. That was freaking bad. All right, well, I gotta do it. JSN, not Juju, who actually just got released by the New York Giants. Jackson Smith in Jigba is my pick here at pick 6. And I know he might have some regression this year, but I think the good thing with JSN is that he's a clear target hog over there. So I don't see much regression happening because I think he's just so entrenched in their offense that as long as he's healthy, he's a lock for like 10 catches, close to 100 yards, and touchdown each week. I mean, he doesn't have as much upside in that regard as Jamar Chase, which is why I have Chase as my number 1 receiver this season. And I think him getting picked at 103 was the right move. So Amon-Ra at the 104. I think him and JSN are about even. I think at this point I'd move Amon-Ra slightly ahead of Puka with the recent developments with Puka. But I mean, if he does get suspended, it'd probably just be for a game or two. And I think his health will be fine. So I'm not too worried about Puka. So I'm not going to roast Santana too hard for taking him there. So then after the first 6, we got CMC and JT 7 and 8. I'm cool with that. that makes sense. They're my third and fourth ranked running back. CMC dealing with a bit of an injury scare, but should be okay, I would think, for week 1. I'm sure they're going to take it easy with him here these next couple weeks for the season. CD goes at 109. Not mad at that. That's a solid pick, especially for PPR. James Cook, Devon A-Chain, 10 and 11. Cool with that. Saquon goes at the 112, followed by Ashton Jenney. Maybe a little high for Saquon. I'm a little worried about Philly. I'm not sure how they'll do this year with the new OC, but I would think they'll still be good enough for Saquon to be an RB1. Genty, though, I really like that pick. I think Genty is going to have a huge season in the new look Raiders offense because people got on him as a rookie. He really wasn't that bad. He just didn't quite live up to his ADP, which is extremely high. But I think overall, Genty was pretty solid last year. And this year, I think he's really going to live up to the hype. This is his season to really break through. So we have to run through these next few picks real quick because I'm on the clock. AJ Brown, his ADP skyrocketing. Chase Brown, I like that. I think Chase Brown's gonna have a good season. Justin Jefferson, Jettis, he slipped a little bit. That's a good value. Omari and Hampton, his stock's rising. George Pickens, solid pick there. All right, so do I go with my first running back or a receiver or a tight end? Tempted to go Trey McBride. I really like McBride this year. I'm not sure why some folks are labeling him as a bust. I know it's a new offense, but with that being said, I'm going to go with Drake London. I know there's some QB concerns over in Atlanta, but I think Drake London's pretty safe no matter who the quarterback is over there, whether it's Penix or Tua. I think Drake London will be fine. I mean, Tua, we know what Tua can do. I mean, Tyreek Hill is an elite fantasy receiver with Tua. And I think Penix, if it ends up Penix for a lot of the year, I think Penix is good enough to make London a WR1. So I'm cool with London in the middle of the second. He normally would go like late first, early seconds. I think I got a good value with him there at the 2.7. McBride was tempting, though, as well as Kenneth Walker, who goes at the 2.8. His stock has been rising. Signed with the Chiefs, in line for a huge season as their lead back. They're going to lean on the run this year with Mahomes coming off injury. So I like the Ken Walker pick there at the 2.8, followed by the King Henry at the 2.9. King Henry is not going anywhere. Every year, everyone's like, he's going to fall off. This year he declines, but he just keeps cooking. So until he falls off, I'm not writing him off. So I think that's a solid pick. And Josh Allen at the 2.10. Maybe a little high for Allen, but you know what you're getting with him. Very safe pick, so not mad at that. Malik Neighbors at the 2.11. I think he'll be good to go for week 1. It's a little risky coming off the major knee injury from last year, but I think overall it's a solid pick. Trey McBride and Nico Collins, both good values there. Shout out to Murph, man. Murph, the savage. He always makes good picks. He's in my $100 super flex league, which, by the way, I have 2 openings there. We're scheduled to draft this Monday, a 12-team super flex $100 league. If anyone's interested in joining, hit me up at Spencer the Guru on social media, Instagram, wherever you find me. I don't know, is there a DM feature on YouTube or comment during the stream or after the video if you're interested in joining my 12-team super flex league. Right now it's only 10 teams. We're hoping to get it back to 12. I had a couple people drop. I know 100's a little steep, but I think we can fill it up. I think we can get to 12. So shout out to everyone in that league. I know a lot of folks in this mock are in that league with me. So it's probably my most competitive leagues. So shout out to those that go to war with us there. All right, 3.6. We're back on the clock. What do we do here? It's probably go to running back. Man, Jeremiah Love's really tempting here. I know he's now got the high ankle sprain, so he's a little risky, but they say no surgery. I'm reading the latest. No surgery. He probably will be a little slow to start. Kyron's there. Brees Hall also kind of questionable for the start. You know, we're going to swing for the fences and take Jay Love. I mean, I feel like at the 3.6, that's the sweet spot for Jeremiah Love. Middle of the 3rd round. I mean, I would definitely not take him in the 2nd, maybe early 3rd if you're feeling like you want to swing for the fences. But I feel like this is the value, the sweet spot for Jeremiah Love. And I've been avoiding him all off season. I haven't done as many mocks as I normally do, but I've still done a handful. And I would always be like, God dang, he's the next Jenny as far as he just goes way too high. But now that he's got this ankle injury, people are cooling off on the love hype train, as evidenced by the fact that he fell to me here at the 3-6. So I'm cool with him here, man. I think it's a very good value. And Brees goes right after him, kind of in the same boat. I could have gone with Javonte Williams. That probably would have been the safer pick because I think Javonte Williams is getting slept on. Shout out to Harbottle there for taking him at the pick 8 because 3.8 that is, because I think Javonte is getting slept on. I think he is probably the best value of the third round running backs. Like if you go receiver, like if it wasn't for the J Love injury, that's probably who I would have taken, because normally if it wasn't for the J Love injury, his ADP was, he probably would have gone where Jacobs went at the 3-2 at the latest, but with the injury, he slipped a little bit. Jacobs is also risky. I'd take Javonte over Jacobs any day. Jesse might beg to differ. Shout out to Jesse. He took Jacobs there at the 3-2, but with a potential suspension for Jacobs as well as the injury risk, I'm pretty much avoiding Josh Jacobs this year unless he would slip to like the late third, early fourth. But I mean, when he's out there, the Green Bay runs the ball a lot, so he might end up okay. Kyron goes at the 3-9. Could be more of a committee this year at Blake Corum. So I'm not as high on Kyron as some, but in that offense, I mean, he's pretty much a lock for double-digit touchdowns, and that's nothing to sneeze at. So I think Kyron is a solid pick there. Not sure if I'd have done it, but it's not bad. All right. Zitro. Come on, man. Oh, there he goes. Our first auto, because I'm pretty sure Murph beat the clock. I think he got that Bijan pick right in time, but unfortunately, we have our first auto. Lamar Jackson gets autoed to Zitro there. So Mega Moon up next. He wanted that 11 spot. He was wanting that 11 spot. He got it. So let's see what he does here with it. Hopefully, we don't get 2 autos in a row. It looks like he's also dipped out. Yeah, let us catch up a little bit here. He had A-Chain and A.J. Brown as his start. A.J. Brown's ADP is skyrocketing, and I know the reports out of New England are all positive, but I don't know if oh, there he is. All right, good stuff. Drake May. Oh, he does the stack. He's high on New England. I mean, I think A.J. Brown could have a huge season. He'll be rejuvenated, a change of scenery, but I'm not sure if I like him quite that high. That seems a little high, but we'll see. It could pay off. Nice stack there with Drake May. Then we have T. Higgins, Lad McConkey, back-to-back. That's a solid back-to-back receiving duo there after King there took Saquon and Genty. I like Lad a lot this year to bounce back. Cam Scatterboot, that was a bold pick there by Chad Hant. Shout out to Chad. He's one of our loyal mock drafters. He's been in like every mock we've done for like the past 3 years. So shout out to Chad for always pulling up here and holding it down for the Guru Nation. All right. So Phil, that's Phil up here at the 1-7. Shout out to Phil. He won our playoff league last year, did a playoff fantasy league last year. He ended up winning it. I finished second, but he went all in with the Seahawks, and that paid off. So shout out to Phil there. Actually, I probably should send this YouTube link in the mock chat. I feel like a lot of people are probably like, where's the stream? So let me do that real quick for y'all, but I can talk and do that at the same time. All right. Phil has gone, where's the draft? Here we go. CMC, Pickens, and one sec, y'all. CMC, Pickens, and Brees.
Let's go, team! Let's go!
Gave him Colston Loveland. Well, let me send the link after I pick because I'm going to end up autoing if I try and do that now. All right, back to me here. All right, so we could go with a running back. They have some tempting names. Could go QB, Burrow, JD5. I'll probably pass on them here at the 4th round spot. Could go with another running back. I got some tempting names. Could go another receiver, though. Man, Garrett Wilson. I feel like people are really sleeping on G-Dub. You know what? I'm gonna go with Garrett Wilson right here. I thought about going a second RB, but I don't know. None of those guys really felt like great values there. So I went with Garrett Wilson. I'm hoping one of them will slip to the 5th, and then I'll get a running back there. All right, y'all. All right, here's the stream. And we're live. Let them know that we're live. Okay. And I'll send it in the other chat too. 1 sec, y'all. All right, so Garrett, and then here goes Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's an interesting one from the standpoint of he's in a new home there in Denver, so he could end up having a really nice season there with Bo Nix. They're gonna throw it a lot. Sean Payton likes to air it out, but he also runs it too. They have a balanced offense, but with that being said, I still think Waddle have a nice bounce back. Things are getting bad for him in Miami. I'm glad they traded him because Miami is a dumpster fire right now as far as a passing game. That's going to be A-Chain and not much else. But Jalen Waddle, I think he'll have a nice season there. And Zay Flowers, I think Zay Flowers is a safe pick. That's a good pick there by Andrew. Shout out to Boston Sports Mania there and Andrew. I like his start, man. Amon-Ra, King Henry, Rashee Rice. I think Rashee will be good to go this season, assuming he can stay out of trouble and not get injured, which has been a challenge for him so far in his NFL career. But I think he's in a good spot this year, and he's have a contract year coming up soon. He needs to show he can do it for a full season if he wants to get paid. So I think he's going to have a big year. Zay Flowers, I think, is a very safe pick at the 4-9. I considered him there, but I think Garrett Wilson has a little bit more upside. So I think Waddle's definitely more to upside play out of him than Zay. But if anything, I think I'd rather Zay because Zay, I think, is a very, very safe pick, good floor play. DeAndre Swift and Emeka Egbuka, Bucky Irving, Travion Henderson. I really was hoping he might slip there to the 5.6, but that was wishful thinking. Travion, I think, is going to have a breakthrough. I know Ramondre's still there in New England, but I think Travion's going to have a really good season and be the RB1 over there before it's all said and done. I still think Ramondre will have a role, but I think it's going to be Travion as the lead back by the second half of the season. And David Montgomery goes at the 5.3. Luther Burden at the 5.3. His stock slipped a little bit, but I think he'll be good to go for week 1. Quinshon Judkins, that's a safe, solid pick. Andrew with a couple of nice floor plays there. I was kind of hoping Judkins would fall to the 5.6, but yeah, he's like the last workhorse left. I know the Cleveland offense isn't looking too good, but I mean, I think he'll get pretty much all the carries there. So for the 5th round, that's good. Jadarian Price at the 5.5. Well, I feel like I know what I have to do here. I know it's a little risky and it's just a lot of hype. I tend to not want to draft these kind of guys, but I'm going with Bashal Tootin right here. I mean, it's a little risky, but I mean, Chris Rodriguez, we've seen him in Washington. He's all right, but he's just, I don't think he's a lead back by any means. And Tootin, I know wasn't amazing last year, but I think he showed enough to make me think that he'll be the lead guy here. I mean, they didn't bring in anybody of significance, Jacksonville, that is. So that tells me they believe in Tootin. And he was a fairly high draft pick last year for a running back. They also drafted LaQuint Allen, but he was like a 7th rounder. And now he's injured. Like, I don't even know if he's going to make the roster at this point. But Tootin, though, I think is in a good position to be the lead back there. And it's a really good offense. I mean, Liam Cohen calling the plays. He knows what he's doing. So I think Tootin's a good pick here. I mean, ETN or HN. I keep forgetting that he wants to go back to being HN, like his back to his Cajun roots there. Shout out to the HN boys. He's got a younger brother that's in college. Or did he? No. He's not in college no more. Another guru brain fart there. He is now at the Carolina Panthers, Trevor Haitian. he's not really in position to be fantasy relevant. But Chuba Hubbard's banged up, so maybe he'll do something this year. But anyway, let's.
Oh, come on, dude.
Joey Burrow goes there at the 5'8", unfortunately an auto, but we've been doing good. It looks like Z-Man's back in here, and then Chad. Well, Chad is always on point. Shout out to Chad. But we've had a good turnout here, good attendance. Everyone has made the majority of their picks, so appreciate everyone. This has been a very legit mock draft. No bots, no autos. So appreciate everyone here holding it down and rocking with us. We're going to go 14 rounds tonight. We might have to speed the timer up toward the end. We might have to change it to 30 if it's dragging on too long, because we're going to do rapid fire grades after the draft. So we'll see how it's running. If we pick quick enough, we might just keep it at a minute. But if it starts to get too much, then we'll speed it up toward the end. All right, so pass we picked after Burrow. Tyler Warren. I considered Tyler Warren. I think he's going to have a nice season. He'll get a lot of targets, especially with Michael Pittman gone. They brought in Keenan Allen, but I think he's more just for depth. The supporting role, that can be a target hog. I'm glad he signed there. That definitely makes me feel better about Ladd McConkey. The fact that I don't have to worry about Keenan Allen taking targets. Jameson Williams, the 5'10", followed by Terry McLaurin. Yeah, I don't know, man. Jameson, I mean, the upside's clear, but I mean, he's not the number one receiver, and he tends to be very up and down on a weekly basis. So he's not particularly high on my list of players to target, unless he'd fall to like the middle of the 6th round. I mean, I'd much rather Devontae Adams, even though Devontae's getting long in the tooth. He's getting up there in age, but he's still very productive. I think that's a very good value there at the end of the 5th to get Devontae. And then scary Terry McLaurin, I think he's in line for a good season. I actually like that they signed Diggs, because I feel like if they hadn't brought in Stephon Diggs, defenses would have really keyed in on McLaurin. But now that they got Diggs in there, I think that's good. Good for McLaurin and JD5. So I'm glad Washington did that, because if they hadn't, man, that receiving core is looking pretty bad over there. I don't know if he was saying about Ayuk, but I don't think he's going to play in the NFL this year. So, yeah. Yeah, I think most of the people have been active.
Come on!
Yeah, so it's been a good turnout. I know we've had a few autos here and there, and I know Chad, he prides himself on always making his picks, but, you know, it is what it is. It's, you know, it can be sometimes tough to balance it. I know in life we got a lot going on, but let's see. Yeah. All right. So Harold Fannin at the 6'1". I'm okay with that. Christian Watson, followed by Michael Wilson. Both pretty solid picks. I like Watson. He's in a good upside play. Wilson, I think, has got a good floor. I think that's a good compliment to Jameson Williams. Roma Dunze, that's a good one. Mike Evans, yeah, they're scooping up all the receivers. I'm glad I got 3 right there, because if I had, I'd be in trouble. So I feel like this team is coming together pretty good. Unless Phil does what I'm thinking he might do. I think I know who my next pick is going to be, but it'll be dictated by what Phil does, obviously. Man, I could go with another receiver, though, but I feel like I'm tempted. Oh, wow, back-to-back tight ends. Bold strategy, Cotton. Wow, didn't expect that from Phil, but I think Laporta could have a really nice season. You know, they got the new OC over there, who was the Cardinals play caller, I believe, and you saw what Trey McBride did in that system. So, yeah, I think Laporta gonna have a good year. So I'm gonna go with JD5. He's been getting a lot of flack over that number thing with LSU. I think a lot of that's his mom. I think she's a little wacko, but I think JD5 himself will be fine. I ain't worried about all that extra crap. I think he himself's gonna have a nice bounce back season. He's dealt with a lot of injuries last year, but as long as he's healthy, I think he's going to do very well. Middle of the 6th round, I think is a good value for him. I normally wait on a QB in a single QB format like this, but I think he fell to me at a good price here in the middle of the 6th round. I had some good receivers here. I'm hoping one of the ones I had on my target list fall to me in the 7th. Probably go with a receiver or tight end up next since we've already got 2 running backs. Yeah, I usually only take 2 running backs in the first 8 rounds, but you never know. There might be someone that I like in the next round, but I think we're most likely going receiver, tight end. Parker Washington, that's a good pick. His ADP is going up, and rightfully so. For a while, he was getting like July. I was getting Parker Washington at an extremely good value, like 7th, sometimes even 8th round. But cat's out of the bag now. Everyone knows that Parker Washington is on for a big season. Not sure why it took the fantasy community so long to wake up on that, but no more getting him at dirt cheap prices. Carnell Tate there at the 6'10". He was a very highly touted rookie out of Ohio State. I think he's going to continue that pipeline of good Ohio State receivers. The only thing with him, though, it's like, I mean, they got Wandale over there. He's kind of a pain in the ass. I know Malik Neighbors did his thing with Wandale. I think it's probably good that they've got someone else to take attention away, like I was saying earlier with Terry and Diggs. But I don't know, man. Wandale, at least to start the season, might end up the top target there for the Titans. And with Cam Ward kind of struggling, not sure how strong Tate's going to be out of the gate, but I think as the year goes on, he'll end up being a good, productive fantasy piece. So I think that's a good value there at the 6'10". And Ramondre Stevenson and Caleb Williams close out the 6th round. Man, Caleb's ADP is going up, and rightfully so. I think he's going to have a big, will this be his 3rd year there? Yeah, I think he's going to have a big 3rd-year jump. So, and then Cortland Sutton, he's a name that hasn't been, he's just not really as talked about with Jalen Waddle now there in Denver, but I think he's still solid. Good floor play. Murph, though, a little light on receivers. We'll see what he can do in the mid to late rounds to try to build his receiving core. Maybe he's got some good sleepers in mind. But as of now, he is definitely lacking at the receiver position, which is arguably the most important in PPR. But he does have a stacked running back room as well as Trey McBride. So he's got talent. Jonathan Brooks. Wow. That was a reach, but he could have a nice season, especially with the Chuba Hubbard development. But I don't think I'd have taken him quite that high. He is a riser. He is seeing his ADP rise, but man, that's kind of steep. And then J.K. Dobbins, wow, another kind of surprising pick there. I think J.K. is also kind of getting slept on, but I don't know. I think for PPR, I'd almost rather R.J. Harvey, which he's going to be in consideration for me here. And there goes Jalen Hurts there at the 7.5. Let's see what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to go with MHJ, man. Marvin Harrison Jr. I think this is the range where he's a good value. He had a okay rookie season and followed it up with a pretty brutal sophomore year. But I think as long as he's healthy, he'll at least be a solid flex at the very least. And I mean, he's my WR4 here. Do have the roster set to 2 flex, so he would be a starter. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him as a starter, because I think the Cardinals are going to air it out a good bit there with Jacoby Brissett. I mean, Jacoby Brissett showed last year he can air the ball out. They can move the ball with him. It's not going to be a situation where like Miami or the Browns where you worry like, man, they're not going to be able to move the ball at all. I think the Cardinals will move the ball pretty good with Brissett. I mean, they did it in the second half of last season. I don't see it changing. I mean, Brissett and the defense, I don't think it's going to be that much better. They'll probably be in kind of similar last year, a lot of negative game scripts to where, yeah, I think MHJ is going to bounce back in a big way. So I like the way this team's shaping up. I am very happy with it. I was worried, man. I'm not glad after I called JSN Juju to start. I was thinking like, man, this is gonna be a long night for me. But halfway through 14 rounds here, after 7 rounds, I'm very pleased with my squad here at the 1.6. That goes at the 7-7, and we got a big wave of picks out there. DK Metcalf, Jalen Warren, Mekhi Lemon, Kyle Pitts, Chuba Hubbard, and Jackson Dart. Now Blake Corum. Yeah, I like these. Kyle Pitts, I like the value at Kyle Pitts. I think he's getting slept on. I think he's probably the best value among the like mid-range tight end ones. Mekhi Lemon, could have a nice season as a rookie. I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm not as big on Philly. Not sure what to expect out of their offense. So, oh, my bad, y'all. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, I got it fixed. Oh, now he messed up again. Son of a gun. All right. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. All right, back on track. Mekhi Lemon, I think he's got upside, so not bad for the end of the 7th. Chuba Hubbard kind of banged up, but he should have value. Dart, I think those are both auto. Come on, King Tanks. Disappointed in you, man. You started off good. Now you flaked, but pretty much everyone else is still in here. I think whoever this was, Team 5 dipped, unfortunately, but good turnout overall. Shout out to everyone that's holding it down here in the chat and in the room. So we got Corum, Tony Pollard, and Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is the one that's seen his ADP slip due to injury concerns. But I think the 8th round is not a bad spot for him. He got a big payday this offseason, so he'll definitely be in line for an expanded target share, I would assume. So, because last year he was more like a big play guy. Didn't really see a lot of targets. Did a lot with a little, but I think this year he'll have more opportunities to make plays. I think he'll be targeted more. So I think with this next pick, I might break my rule. And I was saying I don't usually take 3 running backs in the first 8 rounds, but they have some guys I like that I might do it. Don't really like the tight ends left. I was hoping maybe Pitts would fall to me in the 8th, but could have taken him over Marv, but I just felt like Marv had a little more upside. So RJ Harvey, I had my eye on him. I was kind of hoping he'd slip, but it's all good. I have a running back target in mind. If Phil snipes me, which he probably will, Phil knows this shit. So if Phil snipes me, then I might pivot. But I've got a running back in mind here who I'm almost certainly going to go with if Phil passes. Oh, there is another running back I might take. So even if Phil takes the running back that I want, I have a backup plan. Man, another tight end. Man, this isn't tight end premium, big dog. Maybe he was maybe he had a mix up there. But, I mean, Ferguson, though, could be good. So, and it is a 2-flex league, so he can start all 3 of those players. So could be on to something there. Phil knows his stuff, so I'm not going to sneeze at it. If anything, he might be setting a trend, so we'll see. I'll go at Rico right here, Rico Dowdle. Jordan Tyson, he's got hamstring. He'll probably miss the first month. If it wasn't for the auto, no telling how far he'd have fallen. Probably to like the 9th or 10th round. But yeah, Rico Dowdle, I think, is a good floor play. At Love and Tootin, a couple of unproven backs with upside. I think it was important for me to get a floor play as RB3, and so Dowdle, I think, checks that box. So happy about that. Oh, we got some homies pulling up here. What up, Sir Bongs? It's been a minute, dude. Appreciate you hanging out here with us, man. Yeah. Yeah, Sir Bongs, man. Good people. Good people. George Kittle and Jordan Mason go after the Tyson auto. You know, Kittle is someone I was hoping maybe would fall to me in the ninth to get a tight end. That was a good pick there by Andrew, Boston Sports. He's been making some good picks here. Jordan Mason over Aaron Jones. I'm cool with that. I think by the end of the year, Jordan Mason will probably be the guy in Minnesota, but you know, it's one of those things to where that backfield is not very appealing for fantasy. I mean, Mason had chance after chance last year, but maybe this is his year. It could be like a post-type sleeper. So I'm not mad at the pick. Chris Godwin there. And then Michael Pittman goes. Is that him? What the heck? Let me pull up his head. Man, that don't look like him. Unless, man, he looks like he okay, yeah, I guess he got a haircut or something. I was like, man, that don't look like Michael Pittman. He changed up his look. Now he's with the Steelers. Okay. Mike Pittman getting fresh. And his former teammate Josh Downs, the pick at a 9-1. Then you got Herbert, another QB. Yeah, not many QBs have gone so far. I know it's single QB, but yeah, the QBs are slipping there, taking the skill guys. Quentin Johnson, Woody Marks, Dalton Kincaid. Damn it. Kincaid was my tight end target. Oh well. I might just kick the can even further down the road at this point as far as tight ends. Considering I didn't get the one I wanted there. All right. I guess we can continue building our backfield depth. We'll go with Kenny Gainwell. Good PPR option there. I think with the Bucks, he'll get targeted pretty good. He'll be in the Rashad White role. I think he'll do well. So I'll go with him there in the ninth. I was like, where are all the tight ends? Yeah, Phil's hoarding them all. I just thought to make a trade with Phil. He's only got 2 running backs. And he goes Stafford. Man, interesting strategy by Phil going with quarterbacks and tight ends here in the mid rounds. I guess his thinking is where they zig, I zag, and that a lot of times works. You know, a lot of times you can get good values because in these single QBs, people tend to stack up on RBs and receivers. All right, Philly Mike, shout out. What up, man? Philly Mike OG. All right, he says help on the clock at number 7 in a 12-man full PPR super flex 1K family and friends league. Man, y'all put y'all money where y'all mouth is. 1-6 was Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Gibbs, Bijan. Full PPR. Okay, 3-minute clock. All right. Do I go May or Chase? All right, full PPR, super flex. All right, assuming it's not super boosted to QBs, I'd go Chase, bro. I'd go Chase. I think that's the move. I know the QBs might start flying, but you could probably get like a T-Law or something. Oh, am I on the clock? Oh, my bad. I was tripping there. I was like, okay, no, it wasn't me. Sorry. But yeah, I think I'd go Chase unless it's some crazy, like super boosted QB premium crap. Like, I mean, it's not 2 QB, so even if your second QB kind of sucks, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I'd lean Chase. I think Chase at the 1-7 is a good value there. 1 through 6. Wait, was Allen, Lamar, Burrow gets and Chase. Okay. Oh, Chase is gone? Okay, yeah, I'm a little confused there because I think if Chase is gone, then yeah, I guess I'd go May. I'm trying to think who else you could go with. JSN maybe. But yeah, May or JSN, that's tough. All right. Yeah, I think I'd lean May, but JSN not bad. Good luck, Philly Mike. Hope it goes well for you, dog. That's a lot of money on the line. Hope you can have a nice payday there. All right, so Travis Kelce win. I was thinking about maybe Kelce late, but I might just wait very late on tight end at this point. Gaston also went there. So after my game up, it goes Stafford, then Jacoby Myers, Krosky Merritt, Gadsden, Tyler Algier. They took my J Love handcuff. Dang it, Mega Moon. Jordan Addison, Kelsey, Wandale, and Casey Concepcion going with the Browns first round rookie. Yeah, that's I kind of like that. I think he could be a good sleeper pick. All right, so here I'll probably go to WR5 or a tight end. Let's see. Yeah, one of the two. One of the two. Just building depth at this point. I still don't have a starting tight end, but at this point, I might as well just stream it because it's getting down to the nitty gritty as far as guys. I mean, at this point, I'm probably just going to be in the streaming hunt for a tight end. Does everyone else have one? Jesse also does not have one. Yeah, he's the only one, so I might just keep kicking the can as far as drafting a tight end. I think, yeah, more than 12 have already been taken. So at this point, it's just tight end twos that are left. So missed the boat on a tight end one, but it's just a thin position. So sometimes if you stack more up on your depth, you're probably going to get left out in the cold as far as a tight end. But, a lot of times it's important to have that depth, especially at running back. At all the running back injuries, I'm not upset at what I did there with stacking up on running back. I know zero RB has become the super trendy thing, but I'm cool with what I did here. So with that being said, I don't think I'm gonna take any more running backs. Maybe at the with 13th or 14th round pick, but I'm cool on drafting running backs anytime soon. All right, just Phil, and now my turn. Let's see. Oh man, the Jaden Higgins injury, that sucks. I would have probably taken him here, but unfortunately he tore his ACL. A sophomore receiver for the Texans. But bad luck with wide receivers getting hurt. Man, part of me's tempted to take T-Law here. Shoot. Yeah, because I mean JD5 with his injury history, man, he'll go to backup QB, but I guess I'll just keep stacking depth at receiver. I'll go with Jaden Reed. I think he could have a nice season. There in Green Bay with Romeo Dobbs out of town there. I think Jaden Reed will see a more consistent snap shares. He'll be the WR2 over there. Now there go all the backup QBs. Probably overheard me saying about that, but they still got some good ones. I mean, shoot, they still got Mahomes, Purdy, Bo Nix. I mean, you got some good QBs still out there. So, Jesse took Goddard. Yeah, it's probably, if I had took a tight end there, it's probably who I'd have gone with. But I don't know. Goddard was very touchdown dependent last year, and you know how that goes. A lot of times it's hard to repeat a good season if it was touchdown dependent. So Dobbs and Jones, I like that depth, man. Murph knows his stuff. Deshaun Stribling, that's a good depth pick. He's trending up with all the injuries in the 49er receiver room. Rashad White there in the 11th. That's solid. All right, so Shakir and then Golden auto pick. Yeah, I mean, damn, Mahomes and Brock Purdy still there. It just seems crazy to think those guys are still out there. My goodness. Yeah, that's just kind of mind-blowing for being real. What's the bye week for the damn Washington? Week 7. Let's see about. Okay, doesn't share bye week with Purdy or Mahomes. If that's the direction I go here, there's a JD5 backup. Man, that just seems crazy to think those guys are still out there. Brock Purdy gets slept on there. I'll go with him. Mahomes coming off the knee. I'm like, I mean, he's a steal here in the 11th, but so is Purdy. I mean, they're both steals, so I'm going to go at him and just continue to kick the can down the road as far as tight ends. I guess Phil's going to draft another one here to keep making me be like, I guess I have to trade with him at some point to get a tight end if this is a real league. But fortunately, just a mock because, yeah, not ideal to not have a tight end, but I've seen that work. I mean, a few years ago, shout out to old Ari, a fantasy football expert on IG. He didn't take a tight end in like the 12th round, and I think he won the league. So I feel like it's just, if it goes like this, if you end up the last one that needs a position, you might as well just keep waiting. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Man, I don't know. Mahomes, did I screw up? Did I screw up by not taking Mahomes there? I feel like I may have, man. That's a quarterback, JD5 and Mahomes. Although Purdy, man, Purdy gets slept on. So I think Purdy's probably more realistic. Like, I feel like if this is a real draft, someone would have taken Mahomes already. I don't know why he's slipping this freaking far. Damn. I wonder if the Tanks guy will end up with him, because I think he's on auto. But let's see. Does Chad need a QB? I think he might. I guess nope, he takes Bo Nix. Okay, yeah, he waited a lot. I was like, I guess he'll go with Mahomes, but nope, Bo Nix. And Mahomes is still available. Holy crap. We're about to enter the 12th round. Still no Patrick Mahomes. Man, that is crazy. I know he's coming off the ACL, but holy crap. If he falls to me in the 12th round, I might just take a third quarterback. I might pull a Phil and just like hoard a certain position. Man, that would be crazy. But Ravens rookie Jalen Lane, or Jacoby Lane? What's his name? I'll pull him up here. Jacoby, yep, Jacoby Lane. Okay, Jalen Lane, I think that dude for Washington, the second-year receiver. But yeah, Jacoby Lane, they say, continues to turn heads at Ravens camp. They do have a wide open depth chart. They don't really have a whole lot else outside of, say, Flowers. So he could have a nice season. That was a good pick. And Denver's rookie running back, Jonah Coleman, goes here at the 11-11. All right, finally Mahomes goes. Tanks is back in the building. Shout out to Tanks. He goes with the Mahomes-Kelsey stack. And then goes Travis Hunter. I haven't heard too much about Travis Hunter for fantasy purposes. I think he's going to focus more on defense this year from what I heard. So I'm probably not really targeting him. Yeah, listed as backup receiver, starting corner. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and you got, Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas. He's kind of a luxury item as far as a receiver. So, he'll have his moments, I'm sure. But he's probably more like a best ball play, because he'll probably like randomly have a big receiving week here and there, but it probably won't. Probably only happen like once a month. Most weeks he's probably not gonna get enough touches to be fantasy relevant. But as a late round flyer, I'm not mad at it. Kyler there at the 12-2. Is that Mega Moon's first QB? Did he play the waiting game? No, he has Drake May. Okay, I was like, yeah, I like Kyler, but not as a QB1. QB2, I'm cool with it. So that was a good pick. Keaton Mitchell there. Is he handcuffed to Hampton? He actually sniped Harbottle, who took Hampton. I think Keaton Mitchell's a very good handcuff. He might even have standalone value some weeks. And then if Hampton would get injured, the Chargers, they're going to run it a lot. So, yeah, I think Keaton Mitchell's a nice late round back. All right, trying to see what's available here at tight end. Jesus, there's basically nothing left. Hunter Henry, Brenton Strange, Hawkinson, Okonkwo. Golly, it is brutal out there, y'all. I guess I'll go Hunter Henry. Give me something that's like, something that you can just throw in the lineup and not feel terrible about. They did bring in A.J. Brown and Romeo Dobbs, so why not could be as many targets up for grabs as last year, but it's the 12th round. What up, King D? Guru Nation. Appreciate you pulling up, homie. Yeah. I see a few folks pulling up. I guess the homies are waiting till the grade. So we're almost done here. We just kept it in a minute. Yeah, everyone's been drafting responsibly as far as not spending too much time hogging the clock. So good stuff, y'all. Dalton Schultz, the next tight end off the board. Guess I could have taken. Yeah, actually, that's a sneaky pick because of the Higgins thing. Higgins went here, but he's out for the year. The only reason he went was because of his auto pick. Dalton Schultz should stand to benefit from that. So, yeah, I think that was a good pick there by Andrew, especially with Kittle possibly being questionable for week 1. So, good move there by injured, and Jalen Coker goes after Schultz, and then Chris Rodriguez there after Coker. I think Coker could have a nice season as the number 2 option there in Carolina. I know they brought in Darren Waller, but not too concerned about him. I think Coker will have some good weeks. He's a good depth piece. Not sure if he's good enough to be an every week flex, but he'll be a good bye week fill in, I'd say, in the right matchups. And then Chris Rodriguez, I could have taken him as a Tootin handcuff, but he just doesn't catch enough for me to get excited about him. If he had PPR appeal, I'd be like, hell yeah, but he didn't
Oh,
even,
come on,
because
dude.
then if he had the PPR appeal, then I could be like, all right, he'll be kind of like the way Gainwell, I think, is going to compliment Bucky Irving. But I mean, I feel like Rodriguez is, I don't know really how that backfield's going to shake out. I feel like it could just end up being the Tootin show, which is why I like him there in the 5th round. Rodriguez will basically just be more like a straight up backup as opposed to like a true like 50-50 split, which is why I think he slipped here this far, because I just like, he hadn't showed me enough, especially as a receiver. But I mean, I think he's a good runner. So in the event of a Tootin injury, I think he could hold it down, at least as an early down back. But yeah, just hard to get too excited about someone that hasn't really showed much receiving upside. Brian Robinson caps it off here. That was, I believe he took Bijan 101. Yep, so good handcuff play there. And Murph's getting down to the wire here with these picks. So guessing he has a Q set. He took Sadiq. I was thinking maybe I'd take Sadiq as my second tight end if I decided to take one, but oh well. Yeah, because he's got upside, but yeah, there are a few others that I'm contemplating. I got some rookie receivers that have upside. Running backs, might just not worry about it. I mean, I got 4 running backs, so yeah. Got my backup quarterback. Probably ain't going to worry about any more QBs rest of the way. It's probably close it out with a 6 receiver and a backup tight end. I think that's how we're going to play it here. This Guru Nation mock draft Thursday. Normally do it Mondays, but yeah, it's been a year. It's been a wild year here for yours truly in 2026, but a good year overall. I'd say just a lot of new life things that have popped up. Some adversity, some heartbreak, some life lessons. But it's one of those deals to where you gotta continue to learn and continue to grow. So, may have made some mistakes along the way, but it's all we can do is just continue to learn and get better. And yeah, not to get too philosophical on y'all. Let's close this mock out with this with these final 2 picks. All right, so backup tight end. We'll go with Juwan Johnson. He showed good rapport down the stretch last year with Tyler Shuck. So Jordan Tyson out to start the year. I think Juwan could have a good start to the year. So in the event that Henry ends up an afterthought in New England, we have Juwan Johnson as a insurance policy. So, yep, gotta get a decent tight end too as we went on a position. What up, Albert? Appreciate you, homie. Shout out to Albert. He's pulled up to a lot of our mocks over the years. So good to see some familiar faces here in the chat tonight. Baker Mayfield. And Omar Cooper, yeah, rookie receiver. Yeah, he's one of the rookie receivers I was looking at. So they have a few others still there. So we'll probably go on him to close it out. And then we'll do some quick grades, and then we'll get up out of here. That was my last sip of water. So yeah, definitely be rapid fire because I'm end up losing my voice if I go too much longer here. So yeah, not used to doing these streams as much. I was doing them a lot there, but like riding a bike, now we're back into it. We're Feels good. Feels good to be back. So yeah, in a new setup here, and my first time doing a solo live stream from this crib. So shout out to the crib. Still living in New Orleans, so holding it down out in the Big Easy. So happy about that. Tyler Shuck. Speaking of the Big Easy, he goes there at the 13-9, and Malik Washington or Mike Washington. Man, I'm getting these names mixed up. Guru's rusty, y'all. Mike Washington, that's the Raiders rookie. Then Chigo Conquo there, backup tight end. Denzel Boston, damn, that was someone I had on my queue. But and Cyrus Allen, they're taking a lot of these rookie receivers I was looking at. But that's good. That shows that we got some sharps in here, some sharp mock drafters. That's the whole point of this, is to get prepared, get ready for these big drafts, these big high stakes drafts. And so you gotta, as I say, iron sharpens iron. You gotta compete against good competition in order to get better. And so we're doing that tonight. So for anyone that's just happened to stumble upon this and likes to study up on mock draft trends, well, this is a good group. It's not like we've got a bunch of novices in here, a bunch of people that are just swinging, taking reaches, not really knowing what they're doing. Had a few autos, unfortunately, but outside of that, it's been a very good mock, very productive. I feel like I've learned a lot. I think it's my first time out here mocking with real humans and a bunch of AI mocks, which are helpful, but it's just something about drafting with people that just, you just learn more. I mean, it's because, at the end of the day, people set the trends. I mean, the AI is just going off of what we're doing. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, we're still above them. We haven't gotten to the point where they're taking over. So let's keep it that way, y'all. Let's not let's not let the brain rot get too out of hand there. So all right, not to get too deep in the weeds, let's close it out here with a receiver. And I know who I want. Don't snipe me, Phil. Don't snipe me. I know who I've got. I got him queued up. Well, I got a backup plan. So if you do snipe me, well, so be it. But man, actually now I might want to take the other player. Shoot. Oh well. I'll probably go with the other one though. Because with the injury to Bro, I think I know who I want here. Oh, I gave him Tank Dell. I'm gonna go with the other Houston receiver, Jalen Noel, or Noel, however he says it. I think Jalen will probably have a little more upside, considering that Tank Dell's coming off of major injuries. But if Tank's healthy, though, he could end up the number 2 over there. But one of those two, I think, will have a pretty nice season alongside Nico. I mean, Nico to clear alpha. I mean, Schultz has a role, but I think there's someone else is going to be pretty good over there. And so I think it could be Noel with Xavier Hutchinson's another one to watch, but he's been around a while. I wouldn't expect him to claim the number 2 role. I think it's going to either be Tank or Jalen. So I'll go with Jalen Noel there. Pacheco, Isaiah Pacheco. The Gibbs handcuff goes there. All right, 4 more to go, y'all. Then we can do these grades. Let's close it out. Come on.
Come on.
All right, let me turn that volume crap off. I should have done that sooner. That shit gets annoying. All right. So CJ Stroud, the pick at the 14-9. Yeah, we're about to get these grades going. I see more people are pulling up. Shout out to the chat. I see more. I see y'all. Feel like it's the moment a lot of y'all have been waiting for. So I've had to wait an hour. So shout out to, I think there was like 1 or 2 people that sat through the whole thing. So appreciate y'all for sticking through it. But y'all the real ones. But if you're pulling up now, I ain't gonna rush you too bad. I just, we just do this for fun. So if you watch for 5 minutes, cool. But if you want to watch the whole thing, then you can also watch the replay. We got the replay here on YouTube. So, yep. Exclusive, a YouTube exclusive. Man, IG Live, man, that was an era, but I don't know, man. I just don't really see too much happening on IG Live no more, but you never know. I mean, maybe one day we'll bring it back. 2 to go. 2 to go. Come on, people. Wrap it up. All right. It is done. We made it, y'all. Woo! Made it through, baby. Mock draft Thursday. All right. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get it going. Murph with the 101 goes with Bijan, Trey McBride, Nico Collins, Bucky Irving, Travion Henderson, Caleb Williams, Cortland Sutton, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, Romeo Dobbs, a ton of receivers after avoiding receiver early. Then Aaron Jones, Brian Robinson, Kenyon Sadiq, and Jordan Love. Yeah, I mean, my first thought is this is a very solid team. I like his backfield a lot. Very stacked. And you got McBride and Caleb like them. The receiver room is pretty questionable, I'd say. I feel like he probably should have taken one instead of Sadiq. I mean, you got Trey McBride. I mean, you just need a bye week fill-in. I'd have probably taken another receiver instead of Kenyon Sadiq. But, you know, I'm being nitpicky. Overall, it's a very good team. What am I going to do? No, the scale on the 10 or letters? I don't know. I guess people tend to like letter grades better. So, all right, letter grade. I'll go B plus. I really like it. Just the receivers. Not really sure who his WR2 is going to be. And then the second flex could be a little shaky. But, I mean, all these, I feel like one of these guys will emerge. So, not bad. That's a good team. I think that's a playoff team. Jesse up next. He has Jahmyr Gibbs, Malik Neighbors, Josh Jacobs, Mecca Igbuka, Luther Burden, Ramondre, Jonathan Brooks, Chris Godwin, Justin Herbert, Dallas Goddard, DeJohn Stribling, Chris Rodriguez, Marshawn Lloyd, Ray Davis. Man, part of me wants to give him an A just because of that Stribling pick. Really like that one, but don't really like what he did at the end, you know. I mean, Rodriguez okay, but Lloyd and Davis. No, he wanted the Jacobs handcuff, but I don't know. I mean, he probably took too many running backs. I mean, like 7 running backs. Yeah, that's kind of overkill. And as a result, you know, only one tight end that's not that great, and the quarterback solid, but you know, it'd be nice to have a backup, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna penalize him too much for that. The receiver room has Godwin and Igbuka. Not too high on the Bucks this year, so I'm kind of not really feeling that. Luther Burden is a 3, ain't bad. Neighbors is a 1, is a little shaky. Considering he's coming off injury, might be a little limited to start the season. Like I said earlier, not a big Jacobs fan, so it's okay. I'll give it a like C minus, something like that. I'm not a big fan of this one, but you know, not bad. I'm being, you know, all this is relative, subjective, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's a damn opinion. It's my humble opinion. So take it for what you will. C minus, but good job. Yeah, good job. I don't know. I'm being mean. Sorry, Jesse. I'm being too harsh. Good draft, dude. Good draft. All right, M Dukes. Out to Mike. He's got Jamar Chase, Josh Allen, Brock Bowers, DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, Cardinal Tate, Brian Thomas, Jordan Mason, Quinn Johnson, Stephon Diggs, Rashad White, Jalen Coker, Jalen Naylor, and Britton Strange. All right. Didn't go to backup QB, got Strange backup tight end. Kind of like going top to bottom with the reviews here. Just seeing the depth because, I mean, the top picks kind of are what they are. Depth's okay, you know. I mean, that's Chase and kind of did the hero WR strategy there. But, I mean, Tate and Brian Thomas, you know, pretty good picks. Yeah. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Josh Allen, Brock Bowers. Yeah, it goes QB and tight end early. Swift, Monty. Yeah, his running back room's a little shaky. I mean, you have the quarterback tight end positional advantage, but yeah, I don't know. Overall, this one isn't. I'm not too high on this one. His depth's okay. I'll give it a C plus. You know, there's a few things I'd have done different, but not a bad squad. Boston Sports. Up next here at the 104, he's got Amon-Ra, Derrick Henry, Rashi Rice, Zay Flowers, Quinton Judkins, Parker Washington, J.K. Dobbins, George Kittle, Woody Marks, Jared Goff, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Schultz, Trey Tucker, and C.J. Stroud. Oh, did he do wait on a QB? Yes, he did. Okay, yeah, and he got the Amon-Ra Goff stack. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, waiting on a QB usually works out for you. And he has Kittle. Yeah, Henry to anchor his backfield. Judkins, Dobbins. Yeah, I mean, his backfield's all right. His receiver room I really like there. Yeah, Amon-Ra, Rashi, Zay, Parker, Washington. That's a very strong front four and then pretty good depth there. Shakir, Tucker, not huge on either of them, but it's just depth, so not bad. Yeah, it's a good team. Wait a little bit on the QB. Maybe a little weak there, but overall not bad. I'll give it a B. It's a good team. Not like overly stacked, but it's solid. I think it's a playoff team. All right. Now myself. I'm gonna skip 5. Most of his was autoed. JSN, Drake London, Jeremiah Love, Garrett Wilson, Bashal Tootin, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harris, Enrico, Kenny Gainwell, Jaden Reed, Brock Purdy, Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson, Jalen Noel. Yeah, I think this one's pretty good. I think I did good here. Maybe a little weak at running back, but I mean Jeremiah Love, once he gets back, I think that's gonna be the key to this team is Jeremiah Love. If Jeremiah Love reaches his potential, I think this is a great team. If he's a bust, though, then this team's in trouble. Because, I mean, without him, I mean, Tootin could be okay. But, I mean, he got decent backfield depth. But it is a little J Love dependent. I think we got him at a good price. JD5, I think he held it down at QB and got a good backup. Tight end were pretty weak, but, can't be strong everywhere. I'll give myself I want to say B plus, definitely not an A. I could have done a little better, but again, I mean, this is a tough league. I mean, everyone was good here, so I'll go to B. I'll be humble. A good team, but if J Love hits, this is an A. But I mean, does have a high ankle sprain after all, so we'll see. But overall, not bad. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I might be a little hard on myself. So I might go B plus, whatever. B plus, something like that. It's a solid team. I think it's a playoff squad, but there is some risk, obviously, with any fantasy team. But enough about my team. All right, halfway through to pick 7. Shout out to Phil. Goes with CMC, Pickens, Brees, Colson, Loveland, DJ Moore, Sam Laporta, Dak, Ferguson, and Stafford. Very interesting strategy there, going with a lot of tight ends and QBs. Shaheed, Debo, Kamara, Omar, Coop, and Tank Dell. Okay, yeah, not bad. This one's pretty good. Yeah, he's a little thinner receiver, but got a lot of intriguing depth pieces. His backfield depth. Don't like Kamara as an RB3. You're gonna have to knock him some for that. Just went a little overkill at the tight ends. I kind of like what he did here. I'll give him a B minus because he's got a lot of talent, but just 3 tight ends. I just think that was kind of overkill. But he's got guys. He's got some talent. Phil definitely has an eye for talent. So good, a pretty good squad. He'll be I'd say a fringe playoff team. But if he makes the right moves, he can make some trades there at those tight ends and could boost him. All right, Harbottle, JT, Hampton, Javonte, a 3-headed monster at running back. Then Devontae Smith, Burrow, Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, RJ Harvey. Man, he is stacked at running back. Jacoby Myers, Mark Andrews, Kyle Monaghan, Zach Charbonnet, Baker, and Hawkinson. Okay, yeah, kind of weak at tight end, similar to my team, but yeah, he's super stacked at a running back. Got Burrow at a pretty good price. A little weak at receiver, though. Mike Evans, a little shaky. DKA, he's kind of old at receiver. Yeah, pretty good, but I prefer to build more receivers and running backs generally, and the tight end's kind of weak. So because of that, I'll give it a C. Not one of my favorite teams, but not bad. All right, Chad Hoops, CD, Jettas, Kyron, Scattaboo, Tyler Warren, Roma Dunze, Jalen Warren, Alec Pierce, Krosky, Merritt, Isaiah Likely, Bo Nix, Xavier Worthy, Tyler Shuck, Tank, Bigsby. Waiting on QB. I kind of like that. Kyron, Scattaboo, RB2. I didn't really like that pick. I just think he's a liability. I don't like his play style. That dude runs like crazy. He runs like a Pacheco. He's just, I don't like him. Jalen Warren, he's not bad. Cross command. Yeah, I don't really like dude's backfield. That backfield's pretty bad. Tyler Warren, though, tight end one, very good. Got good depth with Likely. And then waited on QB. What's his receiver room? It's probably pretty good. Yeah, CD and Jettas. Yeah, I think just because of that, it's okay. It's kind of weak at certain spots, but very strong there. I'll go B minus. With that receiver duo, man, that's going to carry you far. But I like a Dunze Warren. He did pretty good in the mid rounds. Late rounds may have done a few things differently, but not bad. Not bad. Worthy late could be sneaky. Let's see. Zitro. I'm not sure how he says it. That's our guy, though. He's in our $100 league. He goes James Cook, Chase Brown, Lamar, King Tet, Jameson, Michael Wilson, Mekhi Lemon, Tony Pollard, Gadsden, Concepcion, Lane, the Ravens rookie, Jacoby Lane, that is, Keaton Mitchell, Mike Washington, and Najee, who just signed with the Giants. Yeah, something happens with Scatabo. Najee could have a role, but yeah, I don't know. It could mean Devin Singletary might be on his way out there. And yeah, Najee also coming off the Achilles. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a decent flyer, but I like these two late ones. And then, yeah, the two rookies, that's pretty good. Gadsden, yeah, he could be pretty good as a tight end. And Lamar, Cook, Brown, 4 receivers, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty well. And I'll go B minus here. It's all right. He's gonna be on the fringe of the playoffs, I'd say. I think it'll depend on how some of these younger guys develop. If he like Mekhi Lemon or Concepcion, and if he can hit on one of those two, that'll make a big difference. So yeah. Devon A-Chain kicks it off from Mega Moon there at that 111. I know he wanted that pick, so I hope this helped you out, dog. AJ Brown, Drake May, A-Chain, McLaurin, Watson, Pitts, Corum, Algier, Wandale. It's a good value on Wandale. Damn, I didn't realize. Yeah, I probably would have taken him over Jaden Reed, but yeah, he obviously wasn't there. Shout out to Mega Moon, Jonah Coleman, Kyler Murray, Chig, and then that Cyrus Allen, the rookie. Yeah, I think with Tyquan Thornton possibly being out, Cyrus could have a role right away. So yeah, this is a pretty well-rounded team, it appears. I like the Pitts move, Drake May. I mean, it's like it could be a little regression there. I mean, he's got AJ Brown now. He got the stack. Backfield, I think Corum could break out. He's got a lot of upside here. Yeah, I think it's a pretty well-rounded squad. AJ Brown, though, that high, yeah, he's kind of dependent on that stack, but it's good, though. I mean, he's got a lot of talent here. I'll go B. It would be higher if it was AJ Brown, but, if the stack hits, this is for sure a playoff team. So good stuff, Mega Moon. Excuse me. All right, last one, and then we're out of here. King Tanks, our last one. Oh, he had some autos, so won't spend too much time on his. Saquon, Jenny, Higgins, Ladd, Devontae, Fannin, Hubbard, Dart, Addison, Kelsey, Mahomes, Travis Hunter, Denzel Boston, Tajee Spears. Yeah, I don't really like this one. I feel like the auto tends to not do people many favors because with the way the trends change so quickly, it's like, man, the auto, you tend to get kind of screwed. Like I think Hubbard may have been an auto pick, but I mean at the end of the 7th is not bad. Dart, I feel like was kind of a reach in the beginning of the 8th. Yeah, not bad. This one was pretty good, but some pretty good, but some kind of questionable picks. Got like Mahomes at a good value, and Travis Hunter. It's kind of like why. So yeah, I'll give this one a how many D's? I'll stick to a C minus. C minus. All right, there we go. No A's, no D's. Very balanced, even mock. I'd say everyone did good. So with that being said, we're gonna end it here. I'm gonna try to do 1 or 2 more for the season. If we can't, then we'll try and do. I would think maybe like an in-season like live show, maybe like recapping the games on Sundays. We're gonna try to get a little more active here. I know it's been a lull period here on the Guru Nation channel, so yeah, we'll shake back. We'll figure something out, and maybe eventually we'll do something that's beyond fantasy football. But I think for this season we'll stick with the football theme. So yeah, it'll be here before we know it. Less than a month away. So buckle up. Get y'all's drafts in here in the next couple weekends, because then Labor Day weekend in the season. So it's sneaking up on us. But all right, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank y'all, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.